Harsch back with an unfortunate emergency writing class. Show you again, you can stop this ad in 3 days. Now, a lot of what I suggest to writers is that they watch movies and engage in, they look at paintings, involve yourself in the arts, listen to music. You know, it's all interrelated, the art world. Look at how my arms are presenting that fact. What I'm thinking about today is the movie Lenny. Have you seen that? It's an extraordinary performance by Dustin Hoffman playing Lenny Bruce, the comedian, who famously violated community norms and was harassed by the myrmidons of justice in the United States, to the point where, in the movie, as portrayed, he becomes boring because he becomes so obsessed with the legal aspects of his life that he's no longer funny. He gets up on stage and starts talking about law and reading about law and so on and making a case for himself, which is quite understandable, but also is not what people pay for when they go to see a comedian. So I'm only going to do this because it happened today. I received a letter from a lawyer accusing me of copyright infringement. And as I have talked about the various benefits of plagiarism, I think we need to cover this one rather precisely. I have a blog post from a few years ago that is an excerpt from my upcoming novel, May this year, The Manifold Destiny of Eddie Vegas, a novel. There's a chapter about Dien Bien Phu called The Rats of the Nam Yong, and I put that on my blog post a few years ago, and I put a couple of photographs, I don't know where I got them, that went along with it. On a blog post you want to put photographs, I've heard. I don't know much about the computer life and so on. But here's the letter I got from the lawyer. I'll read it to you. We are sending this email on behalf of our client. No dear Rick or anything like that. No salutation whatsoever. I've taught business writing. That's a bad way to write a business letter. Always salute. It was numbered for my convenience. 1, our client is the owner of a big online magazine. Which one, I don't know. But a big online magazine. Our client is in the business of selling images to newspapers, magazines, and websites worldwide. He is the proprietor of the copyrights for all images used, distributed, published, and sold by his business. As these copyrighted images are his main source of income, our client imposes all the copyrights to said images. I can agree with that. You know, a fellow's got to make a living. Or a gal. We don't know if she's using the standard he or, you know, the gendered he. So it has come to the attention of our client that this website, which you own, I didn't know I owned a website. It's not actually a website, is it? Anyway, it's a blog under WordPress. Used his images without approval and without any proper credit to the copyright owner. 4. As you never got, nor asked for, approval to use our client's images, your work constitutes copyright infringements in accordance with Title 17 of the U.S. Code. That's a bit vague. Which code? I assume the Copyright Infringement Code. Here we get more specific. Accordingly, you could be liable for statutory damages as high as $150,000 as set forth dollars in Section 504C2 therein. 6. Our client instructed us to do whatever we need to repair the finance damage. I didn't think about that one before. The finance damage. However, due to the difficult time everyone is going through these days, our client will not be pushing to collect any fines. So this is a coronavirus gimme. 7. You are hereby requested to immediately add credits to the image you used. Images and then image. Our client will allow you to continue using the images only if you give clear and proper credits. Who's the client? If we have not received any response by 30th day of April, she left out the article. Try not to do that when you're writing, or people will think you're not from an English-speaking nation. By 30th April of April 2020, indicating that you have complied with this result, we will have to take legal recourse and settle this matter in court. See you in court. Number 9, there won't be further notice. Sincerely, Jillian Scott, Managing Partner, Nodilaw.com. Well, that seemed like something that I should respond to, and let me see if I can find my response quickly, because I don't want to take up any more of your time. Okay, dear Madam Scott, this is from me. Dear Madam Scott, you or someone purporting to be you, how would I know? It came on WordPress. You or someone purporting to be you wrote me regarding some photographs I used in a blog post. You claim to represent a client of a big and mysterious online magazine. You warned me that I committed copyright infringement and that, quote, if we have not received any response by 30th day of April 2020 indicating that you have complied with this request, we will have to take legal recourse and settle this matter in court. The fun part is that you then hereby request me to add credits and your client will allow me to use the images. What a hoot! You won't tell me who your client is. These photos are many years old. I have no idea where I got them. And your powerful client, owner of a big online magazine, wants to keep my page as is. Wonderful! I like your client already. I don't like copyright infringement, but I am an old feller with little understanding of matters internet, online, blogging, and so on, but I've taken to the internet because as a writer it seemed like I ought to. I think I was pretty late getting there, too. As a matter of fact, the blog in which I used these images is an excerpt from a novel without photographs called The Manifold Destiny of Eddie Vegas, which is due out this late May of 2020. I don't need the blog up anymore, but if it would further the interest of your client who owns one or more of these images, one of which is quite arresting, I would certainly credit him or her and keep it up to help draw attention to him or her and this big online magazine. Now, I know you have to warn me and all, but I have to tell you that I emotionally object to your point 9, to wit, 9, there won't be a further notice. That's just plain rude. I wrote that. So here's what we are going to do. You send me the client's directives regarding the photos, and I will happily insert them, along with an apology if one of the images is his or hers. But remember, I have no idea at this point if you or your client even exist. I am a fiction writer, after all. And this could be a joke perpetrated by one of my friends. I understand you may dictate certain conditions under the law, if you exist, but a good faith response like this rather takes away your power to act without a good faith response on your part. By the way, it appears that someone with your name lives in Arlington Heights, Illinois. I grew up in Wheeling, right next to it. Isn't that something? I now live in Slovenia, so you can imagine the expenses involved in a lawsuit on both sides. I'm also broke. So help me out here, and let's get cracking toward a settlement that pleases your client. Sincerely, Rick Harsch. If you take nothing else from this, I got a message from a fan yesterday saying that the one thing you can't copy is style. Well, yes, you can. You can write like a lawyer. You learn to write from the lawyer, and you write like the lawyer, in lawyer ease. And it is easy. Thank you.